You know, manicured nails are a must for a lot of people.
That's right, especially here on the Gulf Coast. Lots of women and even men like to get pedicures to look their best in sandals and flip-flops.
But what you may not know is your nail salon could be putting you at a health risk. Tonight, Fox 10 News reporter Hubert Tate is exposing some of those dangers. It's a special report that we call Nail Files.
We found conditions at some places that break state laws and violate your safety. You are about to meet a woman here on the Gulf Coast who recalls a bad experience with her manicurist.
It was something Charlene Kirksey had never seen before.
She had cut me 3 or 4 times with the emery board. When I got home, I put some medicine on my nails, and about 2 or 3 o'clock, I woke up that morning, and my nails, my fingers were just throbbing. It was so bad, I couldn't button my clothes. And it hurt to take a shower. It hurt to do anything with your fingers at all.
And the situation got worse by the second.
What happened was that the skin was opening up, and the skin on the inside was starting to ooze out of the cuts. And I just kind of stood there, you know, I thought, oh my God.
It was October 2007 when the 54-year-old went to a Mobile County nail salon.
Nails was just a part of what I did for 10 years.
But 10 years could not prepare Kirksey for what happened to her nails. She tells what the manicurist did in a complaint to the Alabama Board of Cosmetology.
She nicked the corners of my fingers. I just popped my hand back and I said, "Oh, that hurt." And she said, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Kirksey allowed the manicurist to finish, but that same night she went through agonizing pain.
I said, "Man, this is really hurting bad." And so I tried to put some medicine on it, and then I tried to go back to sleep.
She went to the salon on a Thursday, but as the weekend came, the pain in her fingers didn't get any better.
They were red, puffy, oozing pus. So every place where I had been cut, it was swollen and red, just very infected.
By Monday, Kirksey could not take it anymore. She went to the doctor.
I had bandages around my fingers, and he took the bandages off, and he said, "My God, what did you do?" And I told him I had had my nails done. He called the nurse in to take my blood pressure. My blood pressure was 188 over 135, I think is what it was. It was very high. I said, "Well, what is this?" And it never ran through my mind that it was staph.
The doctor told her what she did not want to hear.
He took the pad, his prescription pad, tore off a piece of paper, and he wrote MRSA on it, handed it to me. And I just kind of stood there, you know, I thought, oh my God, this is staph.
And it was in 5 of her fingers.
Cases like this are happening all along the Gulf Coast. In Escambia County, Florida, the Department of Regulation had to discipline 5 salons this year, but state law prevents those findings from being released.
And in North Alabama, the back of this woman's foot was cut with a callus razor. Those are not allowed in Alabama. The cut was an inch deep. She had to have multiple surgeries and now can only wear shoes with no backs. Medical professionals say if Kirksey had not gone to the doctor when she did, the affected fingers could have required amputation.
He said, "You're very lucky that you came to see me."
The doctor gave Kirksey medication. She recovered after a full month. As for the nail salon she went to, the state board determined there were conditions inside the salon that could have caused her staph infection. The salon manager did pay a fine and was put on probation. But the state board says there are some things you can do before getting service.
I think being safe is more important than being beautiful. Ask them to open the filters. This is the filters in the pedicure tubs. This is where you usually find the germs.
Ramona Garrick is an inspector with the Alabama Board of Cosmetology. She has seen cases like Kirksey's over and over again.
This is a chemical. If you pick this up, you would have no idea what that would be.
In this particular salon in Mobile County, she found 3 major no-nos. She found used buffers, chemicals not labeled, and the most recent inspection report was hidden behind a stack of papers.
The score was an 80, just barely passing the 79 requirement.
You don't want to walk out there and be the most beautiful thing and find out 2 days later that you have a horrible infection.
Garrick gives these tips when going to a salon.
Ask twice if the tools have been disinfected. If new tools are required, make sure workers use them. Look for callus razors, and always look for the most recent inspection report.
What I suggest is if you go in a salon and you do not see an inspection report posted, then that's not really a good sign. True enough, it may have fallen, but always ask.
Sometimes I've even had patients tell me they bring their own instruments to the nail salon.
Podiatrist Jonathan Lubitz sees patients like Kirksey often, but the doctor says a cut isn't the only thing you should be worried about.
Medically, we refer to it as onychomycosis. Onychomycosis is basically a fungus.
Lubitz says if funguses are not treated in time, it could be dangerous.
We cauterize the nail root so the nail will never come back again. If you just take the nail out and don't do anything to the root, which is what harbors the fungus, it will come back again the same way.
So basically, you lose a nail.
You lose a nail, but there's no pain anymore.
Lubitz admits losing a nail is not so pretty.
That is one of the downsides, absolutely.
How are your nails now?
Oh, they're great. I do them myself.
As for Kirksey, she paid $30 for this manicure she will never forget. She doesn't want to scare you out of going to your favorite nail salon, but wants her experience to be a teachable moment.
Common sense. And I didn't use very much common sense, because I took it for granted. If it could happen to me, it could happen to other people.
State board members also say the foot spa is supposed to be cleaned after each client. Leaders say if you don't see this happening, leave quickly. For Fox 10 News, I'm Hubert Tate.